books. It's time to cook. Just the recipe. Psalm chapter 3 verses 5 through 6, the mix. And it goes like this. Elohim gave the dream. Blessings was the theme. Even with rebellion on the scene. Traitors. God gave us sleep. The sleep was deep. The theme on repeat. The blessed gonna eat. Eating like a lion. Roaring from Zion. The blessed never die on. We own in the forest, ripping, shredding, flexing on thousands of troublemakers, haters, and fakers. No fear in our ear, cause the Most High hears. Elohim gave us rest.
Peace, family. Welcome to the journey. I'm Jeshron, the Promised Land Consultant, and you know the motto that I run by here, which is, I'm dedicated to serving you from sun up to sun down. Dedicated, family, to seeing you planted, growing, and manifesting in your promised land, family. For any of you who don't know what a promised land is, I'm gonna hit on it once again. A promised land is that place that you dream about at night, and when you wake up, you keep it in the forefront of your mind, in your frontal lobes. Thinking about it, dreaming about it, working towards it. It's your passion that turns into energy that pushes you and marches you to that place where you're operating at your optimum performance. It's a land that's made for you in the physical and the spiritual to own. And it's my job to pour gas in your tank to help you get there. That is what I want to do as a occupation, is give you guys good energy through YouTube or any medium that you find me in to help you push towards that land as you run into the roadblocks, as you run into people who try to detour you, as you run into different situations, family. And today, the message for you that I have, family, is about when you fall off and on the hard times, how to get back on the road, family. When you fall off, what do you do, family? Because it happens to all of us. When we are traveling towards our hopes, our dreams, our aspirations, we are on the right road and we make the wrong turn, family, and we're just running in circles because it might be an addiction, it might be an old friend, it might be something new that has us just circulating in the wrong manner. It's going to happen. It happens, family, but how do you get back on the right path? And there's two things that I want to bring to the forefront of your mind so you're thinking about it whenever you fall off, because it happens. Sometimes it's just a test from the Most High to see what are you going to do in that moment. How are you going to respond, right? When you fall off the bandwagon, how do we get back up? How do we get back on track? First, it's really simple. It's something that we all know, but something that none of us like to do. And it's being accountable in the moment. And there's two places that you really need to be accountable. The first one is, as the situation's going down, it's transpired and now you're feeling the heat, right? It's getting hot up under the collar. You know what I'm talking about, right? You can feel it. Take accountability in that moment, because in your brain, you're running through all the different situations that can get you out of what you did. But what you should be doing is going through all the situations where you can own up to what you did, show the fiber show the strength of character that you have and what you've been raised on, what foundation you're on, how you stand on your square in that moment when you've done wrong. Take that accountability in the physical. The example I want to give you of somebody who is really good at not taking accountability in the physical, sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't, but what you don't want to do is, if you've ever watched like First Take with Stephen A. Smith, he is really good at being wrong but sounding completely right. And that's what you don't want to do. That's the wrong move. When you know you're dead wrong, but you know how to flip that situation to where you sound just right. That's what you don't want to do when you are taking accountability in the situation. Tell them that you're wrong. Tell them what you did. Show Shine the light in the darkness that you made. Don't make your darkness look like light. That's not accountability. That's not what the Most High is looking for. That's not what this walk is about as you're on the way to your promised land, family. So remember that. Think of Stephen A. when he's wrong. Everybody knows it, but he comes up with examples left and right, left and right, left and right that make him sound like his stance is plausible when it is not. He does it often. He doesn't do it all the time. Sometimes he'll say he's wrong. But often, like when he's speaking to Dan Orlowski, you can tell when he's wrong, but he's still sticking with what he has to say. So, second place you got to take accountability is in the spiritual. That means after you've taken accountability in front of the people that you need to, now you're talking to the God that you serve, which I suggested is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his risen Messiah. You need to take accountability with him. And this is very important because you're his representative as you are getting to his promised land. And when you misrepresent him, you need to take accountability with God. You need to come to his secret place. The secret place of God is when you close your eyes by yourself and you connect with him and you can hear his voice above everything else. Go to the secret place. Go to the throne. Talk to God. Let him know what you did wrong. Let him know how you're going to amend the situation, because believe it or not, there's going to be another situation where you can fall off because the enemy knows where you're weak, and that's where you need to get strong. And how you get strong is by taking accountability in the physical and in the spiritual, family. So those are the two places. Let me give an example of somebody who took accountability in the spiritual and who took accountability in the physical and the spiritual. This would be one of my favorite people. I talk about him all the time. Second king of Israel would be King David. King David was a man after God's own heart, but he's also a man that made a lot of dumb moves, if I put it that way. I've made a lot of dumb moves. We've all made a lot of dumb moves. But anyway, King David, as we all know, took another man's wife, smashed her, got her pregnant, had that individual killed, which is Uriah. If you guys haven't heard that story, I've never read it, I'll put what book it's in and where you can find it. After that situation transpired, the energy that King David had put out came back to him. Some of the consequences that he faced was he lost that child. 2, he brought the sword into his family, and God said it would never leave. Take, for instance, King David's own son led a rebellion against him, and because of this rebellion, King David had to run to the wilderness. He was back in the wilderness. And you know, I say that the wilderness is a place of testing. It's a place of growing, right? So King David's son is chasing him, trying to kill him, has already taken his kingdom. And to make matters worse, Absalom said, I can do better than just doing a rebellion. Absalom set up a tent on top of the walls he set up a tent on the walls of Jerusalem where everybody in the city could see, and he smashed all of King David's concubines that he left in the city, so everybody knew what type of time Absalom was on. And Absalom was King David's most beautiful son. He was handsome. He had a way with words. People knew who he was. And he rebelled against King David in some of the worst ways, right? And we know what happened to Absalom, right? He died. He had 3 arrows shot to the chest, and they plunged a spear in his chest, right? So King David's energy the energy that King David put out by killing another man, taking his wife, having a baby brought in consequences that he could never imagine. But when he was in the wilderness running from Absalom, right? Having the worst day of his life. Think about it. Your son's trying to kill you. Your son smashes all your concubines. Ain't none of us had a bad day like that. Ain't none of us had a bad day like that. You feel me? But as he's running from his son, we know in Psalms chapter 3, verse 5 through 6, King David's thoughts are recorded because he's basically making raps about what he's going through. And if we go to 5 and 6, it says, I lay me down and slept, and I awaked, for Jehovah sustained me. I will not be afraid of 10,000s of people that have set themselves against me round about. Arise, O Jehovah, save me, O my God. And if you read all of chapter 3, not just 5 and 6, you see that David's taking accountability with the God that he serves, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and his risen Messiah. But not only that, after David's taken accountability, he's now putting his trust back in the hands of the God that's punishing him for his own wrongdoings. What he's not doing is telling God that he's wrong. What he's not doing is whining and crying and sulking over the situation and saying, oh, why is me? No, he's letting it be known that he was wrong. He's letting it be known that he still has trust. He still has belief. He still knows who the ruler of this earth is. And that's why he's often said to be a man after God's own heart, because even when he's done the most atrocious, craziest, terrible things, he still makes amends. He still finds a way to reconnect with God in the moment. And that's what this message is about today, family, is when you fall off and on the hard times, you fall off that bandwagon, get back on by taking accountability in the physical and then taking accountability in the spiritual with God in his secret place, and then accepting that energy as it comes to you, but put your trust back where it belongs so you can get to your promised land, so you can get to your hopes, your dreams, and your aspirations, family. And that's what this message is about. Take accountability, tell the truth, stand on your square. I know it's not easy, but the growth that you'll get from it in that moment is worth it. Family, that's the message for today. I'm Just Ron, the Promised Land Consultant, and you know I'm dedicated to you, family, from sun up to sun down. Dedicated, family, to seeing you planted, growing, and manifesting in your promised land, family. When you fall off the bandwagon, I pray that you manifest these thoughts in your mind, that you're going to take accountability right then and there in the physical and the spiritual, and then run to your King, run to your Savior, and get what you need. I hope each and every one of you have a blessed one till I catch you in the next one.
And it goes like this: Elohim gave the dream, blessings was the theme, even with rebellion on the scene. Traitors. God gave us sleep, the sleep was deep, the theme on repeat, the blessed gonna eat, eating like a lion, roaring from Zion, the blessed never die on. We own in the forest, ripping, shredding, flexing on thousands on thousands on thousands of troublemakers, haters, and fakers. No fear in our ear, cause the Most High hears. Elohim gave us rest, neutralized all threats. Elohim gave us dreams with the theme on repeat, even with rebellion on the scene. The blessed ones becoming complete. The opposition lost their optimal positions. That's just how we possess.